and we're bringing that in an LFA down. So this may be a good, you know, if I'm posting this video, it was probably a good idea. So everything that's fun in life costs money. Some people are born with it, the rest of us have to borrow to get what we want, whether it's borrowing on a mortgage, renting somebody else's house or apartment for you to live in, leasing a car, buying a car with the financing, or putting money on credit cards to fund travel, pleasure, whatever you want to spend it on. Well, the problem is credit cards and some of these other loans can get very expensive. The interest rates can go up to almost 30%. And then you might feel trapped or like, this sucks, I'm drowning in debt. Well, that's where today's video sponsor, Upstart, is here to help. Upstart is the fast and easy way to get a personal loan to pay off your debt all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment. Upstart finds smarter rates with trusted partners because they assess more than just your credit score. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate upfront for loans from $1,000 to $50,000. You can get approved the same day, and you can receive funds as fast as one business day. To find out how Upstart can help lower your monthly payments, visit upstart.com/SSR. I put a link right below in the description. Loan amounts will be determined based off of your credit, your income, and other factors that you put into your application. It's upstart.com/SSR, link right below in the description. All right, what's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here. McLaren 620R. You'll remember this one, not this one, but the orange one was the one we rented out in Nevada, and it got a bunch of rock chips, and the rock chips cost $100,000+ to repair, allegedly. Update, there's no update on that. I'm waiting on paperwork, waiting on documentation, which I don't think actually exists. But this one is coming with us. We're going down to Barber Motorsports Park down in Alabama, just outside of Birmingham. Now, you'll see this car here, brand new. My buddy Brandon just picked this up for adventure drives. He bought it and literally drove it off the showroom floor right up to Vermont with us to Whistle Pig for adventure drives. Now, the question as to whether that makes it to the track or not is to be determined, because if you look over here, and we're bringing that in an LFA down. So this may be a good, you know, if I'm posting this video, it was probably a good idea. But here, this artifact from the Titanic was in fact my spare tire holder on my ramp truck. Now, we've covered my ramp truck. It's what happens when you get a free vehicle from a sponsor. It came through an auction. Everything seemed to line up, right? There's plenty of trucks out there, 200, 300,000 miles on it. The one that they found me had 130,000 miles. I was like, terrific, I'll take a 130,000 mile GMC dually. And unfortunately, that turned out to be a rollback. If you go watch that video series, you'll see that it's been more than a headache. I've put over $20,000 into that truck, even though it was free. I would have been better off just buying a new one. However, you know what? It's part of my life. This, however, was just dragging on the highway. And now, before we load these cars up, we were doing another inspection underneath, and it's a little bit, let's just say, suspect. Here, let's make our way over here. It's sad because my donk looks safe now, and let's get underneath. I'll show you. I'll let you guys judge for yourselves. Still, this is another, you know what, things that bother me. Volume 1. My truck was hit on the George Washington Bridge. My guy said the other truck hit him. The other truck said my guy hit him. Still not fixed. The insurance is like, whatever, everybody says the other guy did it. So now I'm gonna have to, when I can actually take this truck out of service, fix it myself. Sort of like that flat tire on my donk. But let's take a peek here under Speed Force 1, because I'm about to load up $2 million worth of cars, roughly $2 million worth of cars on this thing to go down to Alabama. And not that I'm driving, but where can I tuck underneath? Do I tuck underneath in the back here in the dirt? This is Rob Ferretti getting dirty, everybody. Luckily, been there, done that. All right. Now, this is the problem. This shock here was actually attached. Oh, it was dragging on the ground, huh? It was actually attached to that cross member. Now, I thought that cross member was just under here to hold that tire on, when in fact, it was part of the structural support. Now, the decision to still send this and just full send this down to Alabama is twofold. One, this, although it's not supporting anything right now, hasn't been supporting anything for a long time. If you look at that rusty old piece of crap over there, there's been no structure attached to that for probably years. And this thing's seen some miles. It's been up and down to Florida. It's been down in Nashville. It's been around. So, and I just drove it down to the CF Charities event down in Philadelphia with my Supra on the back. No drivability issues whatsoever. It's not squirrely. There's nothing to concern me. Now, it also has the leaf springs here. So it's got the bump stops, the leaf springs. The only other thing that bothered me was that the exhaust support, we had to grab that ratchet strap and throw a ratchet strap on it. The exhaust support was also attached to it. But, I mean, it sucks. It's just what happens when you get a free truck. You end up in a situation like this where stuff breaks off. There's also another shock on the front, and I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'll have to sneak underneath to the other side. Let me do that. This is just me taking a break as I slide. Gotta go underneath with my head here. All right. Yep, this one. Yeah. If you look underneath there, I'm going to the other side. Not going to parkour you guys over the bed of the truck, although I was tempted. It's turning into Speed Farce one, really, because this thing is. Now, it gets the job done. Since I got the injectors fixed, it gets the job done. Here's another shock on the other side, which apparently is leaking a little bit. But you've got that cross member going over the top, which, you know, on a scale of 1 to looking good, that's probably about a 2. And then the support on the top there. This is what, I want to say this is what keeps my truck from collapsing, but I really don't think it does. But we should probably get that checked out. But I don't know. I got to get under here. We got to blow some sand against this thing and see what we're looking at here. But obviously, if you're watching this video, things went fine. We made it down with both an LFA and a 620R down to Alabama and made our way back. If you're watching this and you work for Progressive, I'm faking it. We didn't actually do this because that would be crazy. But if you don't work for Progressive, let's just load it up, send it, and see what happens. Because as I said, twofold, I went to get quotes to send these cars down. This is ridiculous. These guys, these transporters wanted, where are my glasses over there? These transporters wanted over $6,000 to send these things down. It's going to cost me a third of that. Fuel, labor, hotels, food, probably run me about $2,000 to send these things down and back. Plus we have them leaving at our convenience versus relying or waiting on another truck. I thought that was a pretty sweet gig. We were going to take a third car down there too to get a 3-car wedge to pull these 3 cars down. You go down, you sit for 6 or 8 hours, you load them up, you go back. And for the 3-car wedge, the cheapest I got was $9,600. And I'm like, that guy's making money. That guy's not using very much more gas than this is using. And if I'm blowing through whatever, $600 in gas in 2 days, that guy's doing $600 in gas. The same cost structures, it shouldn't be making $7,000 in 2 days to move 3 cars. I'm sorry. Like, if it's the industry, this is why you buy your own trucks. I'm even looking now because I'm going to build another one of these. I'm going to get rid of this thing, or at least just spend a couple of bucks. When I say a couple of bucks, maybe another $1,000 to clean it up, to get it structurally sound under there. It drives perfectly fine, but I just don't like the way it looks under there, so we are going to take some corrective measures. But like something like this, same thing. All you have to do is throw a 2-car tag on the back. You can throw legitimately 3 cars on this thing and it pulls like a dream. So I'll get a 1-car trailer, a 2-car trailer, so I'll be able to move up to like 6 cars at once when I have regional stuff. Like I'm going up to Boston at the end of July and I need like 12 cars up there, so I can sort of back and forth, or at least hire a 6-car hauler and then this and take care of what I got to take care of. But if you think I'm crazy, then you probably thought I was crazy before this video anyway. If you have a spare frame or chassis for a GMC Sierra, no, what is that? What do I have? Yeah, I think it's a GMC. If you have a spare chassis, let me know. I could probably use one. If not, we're gonna get to some welding of some heavy metal and see if we can get this thing back to the way it should be. But again, I don't care what was attached to this. It hasn't been attached to this since probably the 70s, which is sad to say about a truck that's 15 years old. That, you know what, it bothers me. As I said, that truck's a rollback. That truck has been, it looks like it was like somebody's truck that they had at the beach. Long story short, I bought it with I got it for free with 130,000 miles on the clock. Turns out it had about 275,000 when I got it. And I had to do the injectors, which is normal for a 300,000 mile truck, not at 130,000. I cleaned up all the problems on it. I didn't find out it was a rollback until after I sent it down. And they're like, look, this thing's pretty shot. And I'm like, well, it can't be that bad. The engine trans, it's only got 130,000 miles on it. I spent the 10 grand to put the bed on it and do that. It's just been quite the process. So it is unfortunately life at this point in time. Wish me luck. If you don't see this video and this car ends up at a Copart auction somewhere with an orange LFA, which is not that, then this will be a private video that nobody will ever find out about. But if you're seeing this video, all went well, and tomorrow I'll show you what happened at Barber Motorsports Park, and hopefully this car doesn't have any rock chips on it, because I'd feel really bad about it. Rob Ferretti, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.